Hello. I don't want to say I told you so, but Adam, you and I have been having conversations on a regular basis about Arsenal, about Mikel Arteta, and today...
We told you so.
Were we vindicated?
We told you so.
We told you so. We did tell you so. Arsenal have lost away at Newcastle against a Newcastle team that had nothing to play for. Arsenal had to get something out of the game. It was a cup final for Arsenal worth so much more, and they have been beaten. Is this the point, Adam, where somebody will say, is Super Mikel Arteta actually that super?
I mean, Arsenal fans will do that. They're probably doing that right now as we speak, this very minute. But, you know, have you seen that meme where he goes, look at us. Look at us. Here we are. You know that meme?
Yeah.
Arsenal fans, look at us. Europa League.
Yeah.
Me and you together.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing, isn't it? This Arsenal team now, you know, they can talk about how they've had a very good season in their opinion. They can talk about loads of things, but the facts of the matter are, they are not a Champions League club. They are not a top four club at present.
They've been very fortunate to have got into the Champions League. I think you have to look at, when you take banter aside and all that, and you just strictly look at it, they've been fortunate that teams around them haven't performed this season. Like, United are one of those, unfortunately. You could even argue Chelsea. You know, when they had that thing where they went, oh, we might be third, and they started thinking, oh, it's amazing. Chelsea haven't been great. Spurs haven't been great. Even Leicester haven't been very great. And Leicester are a team that you'd usually think would finish around 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
And they've not even been
great. This has been the perfect opportunity for Arsenal to make it into the top four. They will never have a better opportunity. They've had to play one game a week. They have operated in a season where lots of people have underperformed, and still it looks like they're going to fall short. They're going to fall short to a Tottenham team, by the way, that have been in crisis twice this season. First Harry Kane, second Nuno Espirito Santo. Exactly.
If they get 5th, if they finish 5th, which it looks likely, is that a successful season?
No, it's not a successful season. Expectations change. 5th is never successful for Arsenal, and let's remember why. They finished 5th, if they do, because they had such a bad season last year that they ended up not qualifying for Europe this year. So they haven't had to worry about European football at all. They went out of the FA Cup at the first possible hurdle against Forest in January, so they haven't had to worry about the cup. There has never been a better opportunity. Manchester United drastically underperformed. Leicester City drastically underperformed. West Ham United have been fighting a war on various
different... to win the league against Leicester and failed.
Exactly.
Almost.
This was their opportunity. And look, they aren't a Champions League club. When you look at that starting lineup from today, so many of their players aren't good enough. And just off the top of my head, when you think about players in this Arsenal squad, Xhaka, Tavares, El Neni, and Nketiah, they're just not Champions League footballers. They just cannot play in the Champions League. And at what point are people going to start saying, Mikel Arteta isn't that super?
I think they already might be saying that. But I also think Arsenal fans got lured into this position where, you know, when they had the whole thing with Arsenal Fan TV and you have all this negativity, sacking managers, Unai Emery leaves, I felt like Arsenal fans as a whole went, right, we just need to embrace something, be positive, stop being spoiled brats. Let's just get behind us. And I feel like there's kind of been a universal acceptance of we're going to get behind Arteta. It's made the crowd better. It's made going to the games better for them, I suppose. But I think it's also made this foundation where there's no standard.
But you know what's mental? Today, they're playing against a Newcastle team that have nothing to play for. They're going up against their arch rivals who they've just lost to for top four. There is so much at stake. There is so much jeopardy. There is so much to fight for. And that is one of the worst Arsenal performances I've ever witnessed.
If you take mine and
Ben White crying practically.
If you take mine and your opinions out of this, Arsenal fans all over the place were saying, why don't they want this? Like all over Twitter saying, why don't they want this in the game? And it's because they do want it, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough.
No, but they've had the opportunity. Like, expectations change. At the beginning of the season, you wouldn't have spoken about them in a European context. But when you get into a position where you have to, you basically, they lost those 3 games and you beat Newcastle, when it's in your hands, you take that. And now they have handed the driving seat over to Tottenham. And for Tottenham, what are Arsenal relying on now against... When Tottenham play Norwich, what are they hoping for? Complacency? Antonio Conte's team will not be complacent.
So let's see the table. So if Spurs draw against Norwich, let's say, it's over for Arsenal. Because they're 14 goals behind them with 3 points.
And also,
if Spurs draw.
And this is where it gets really complex for Arsenal. And this is when people really will need to start asking questions. I'm going to put my cards on the table here, because I'm playing poker, thanks to PokerStars, in Dublin at this very moment. Thank you so much to PokerStars. But look, I don't think Arsenal are going to take maximum points against Everton. I think Tottenham are going to
You've
beat
said
Norwich.
that for a long
I think
time.
Tottenham are going to beat Norwich, and I think that Everton get a point. And Everton might need a point. Can you imagine if Arsenal are going into that Everton game needing a win? I can see Everton turning
Well,
them
they
over.
needed a win today and they didn't turn up.
And
They needed
they
a
were
win today.
terrible
They
today.
did not turn up. Look, I think I'm a bit different to you in that I still think their season's been successful if they finish fifth. Because I think you never expected them to finish there. I never expected Arsenal to get Europa League, never mind Champions League. But on the flip, let's reverse it like Blazing Squad. I also agree with you, if that makes sense in a weird way, that when you go, right, we've got Newcastle to beat and Everton. Like if they beat Newcastle, draw against Everton's good enough.
Yeah.
And they've failed to do it. And I think when it comes down to that, it's like when I hate referring to United when I'm talking about another team. But when I talk about United this season, I always go, forget City and Liverpool. Look at the Norwiches and Watfords and Newcastles where we've been dropping points.
Yeah.
And that's where it's
Do you know where I
come
think it
unstuck for
all's
Arsenal.
gone wrong? The result today happened partly because of what happened against Tottenham. Tottenham thrashing Arsenal the way that they did, battering them the way that they did, getting Rob Holding sent off the way that they did, a Conte masterclass has contributed to the result today. And that young team that Arteta put out today was annihilated.
Do we have to give credit to Newcastle?
No. Yes, they won the game. Yes, they won the game. But they obviously deserve credit for a certain amount of time. But this isn't about Newcastle. This isn't about Eddie Howe. Full credit to their season. I don't want to take anything away from their season. But this is about the frailties of this Arsenal team. This is about the lack of skill and composure in Mikel Arteta's
They're a very
managerial.
emotional team, aren't they? So, and what I mean by that is, and again, it reminds me of United under Oli. They're emotional in the sense that one defeat can make them go on a spiral of defeats, and one win can make them feel invincible. Like they're very up and down emotional. When they're winning, they're happy. When they're losing, they're happy. But like my old mate Jay has said on Twitter, this is United's worst season in years, Arsenal's worst season in years, and we're both in the Europa League.
Well, this is the thing. Also, 13 defeats for this Arsenal team in the league. 13 defeats. That's outrageous.
Wait, so how many have they drawn?
13 defeats.
They can't have drawn none then, right?
I mean, it's terrible, isn't it? When you think about how bad this is for Arsenal, like, I don't know where they go from here. I think people should probably be starting to talk about the manager because that performance was truly horrible.
I mean, three games they've drawn.
Arsenal also, they never looked like scoring. At no point in tonight's game did they look like scoring, let alone winning. They needed to win the game. But at no point did they look like even scoring. And they've lost 2-0 to a team.
Can this be resolved? Could we? All right, we're being very harsh at the moment. And you've got Arsenal fans that watch you. So let's try it. And I know we hate Arsenal. But is there a thing in going, right, this season, 8th, 5th. Let's say they finish 5th. Is there something in going, a few more signings or a Champions League?
I don't think it's.
Or am I being too fair?
I don't think it's progress because of Europe. Had they got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League this season and finished 5th, I think on some level you could say that it's progress. But the fact that they haven't had to worry about European football at all, it does you a massive favour. Chelsea, when they were out of Europe, won the league. A team that finished 10th the previous year. So, can I say this now? Arsenal are going to play in the Europa League next season.
With us?
There we go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. To Adam McCullough, his link is in the description. Make sure that you click subscribe on his channel as well. We will see you all very soon. But before I let you go, I don't want to say I told you so, but I did. And also a huge thank you to PokerStars. Forever in your debt. Having a brilliant time in Ireland. Ta-da.